at Beadshop.com, and I'm Kate Richburg, and look who I have right here with me. I have the wonderful Allie Morey, who many of you know from her fantastic creations on our Facebook group called the Bead Table, which is great. And so we thought it would be fantastic to have Allie right here sharing all 12 months of her wrap bracelets. All 12. Let me make sure I can see everybody here. And jumping on. Let me see if I can get to, yes, we're live now. I see it. I can see that. Let me make sure I can see us here. Great. I'm going to make sure I can see everybody's chats. Great. And I think I can see us on our Facebook page. Yes, we're right here. Everybody's jumping on. Great. Wonderful. Okay. We managed it. We're up and running.
It's quite a to-do.
Yes. Poor Allie, she's like, this is what happens behind the scenes. You guys are crazy.
Wow.
Well, like I said, I'm Kate Richburg, and welcome to our Beadshop.com live broadcast for Wednesday. As I said, the wonderful Allie Morey is here with us. We've got Ivan behind the camera, and Karen is going to be in taking some live shots with her camera. So the gang is all here today. It's going to be great. So it's fantastic to see all of you. Everybody's jumping up. I see Emily and so many people from the bead table, which is great. We've got Gita here doing some moderating across the miles from Denmark. So thank you, Gita, for doing those links and that moderating. I think we've also got Drea's coming on. Karen is coming through. Poor Karen. As you know, our Karen has been out. Maybe you haven't known, but our Karen's been out a little bit. She had a little bit of minor surgery on her foot, so she's a trooper and recovering. But if you could see what's on the other side of this camera right now, Karen in her scooter, Ivan over here, and us here. When we first went and got our new space and we got our new Facebook Live studio, I was super excited. I thought, we have all this room for Facebook Live, and you know what we don't have is all this room. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Well, it's great. It's great to have everybody here. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to, look at, there's Faye. Look, everyone's here. It's so great. And let's see, people are asking, I'll show you guys my necklace a little bit later, but we're here to see all of Allie's amazing pieces. Well, it's great. So you can find, just as a reminder, some of you I know won't be watching this live, you can see this archived right on our Facebook Live page. You can see it archived on our YouTube page. You know, my mom, as I always say, loves to watch it on YouTube because it blows us up like life size, which is great because my mom's giant TV. And you can also see on our Facebook page on Beadshop.com, Karen archives those right on the project page, so you'll see that. Now, Allie Morey, you are incredible. I'm going to have my Jean Rayburn on here, right here.
Make me blush.
Well, it was, so you have been a Beadshop customer for a while, and we started up with the bead table, it's going to be 2 years now, our Facebook group, and you started posting these beautiful things. And the first thing I remember, Allie, that you posted was Emily and I did that unbreakable heart, or the heart pin.
Heart on your sleeve.
Heart on your sleeve.
Heart on your sleeve.
And you posted it, I think, from, I don't know, maybe it was on just our group, or you emailed me.
No, it's on the
Was it on the Bead Table group?
I think I had been up for a week on that. Yeah.
I saw that heart
early on.
And I was like, give me that.
Yeah.
Give me that heart.
It was a set of 3 hearts.
Yeah. It was so beautiful.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Fun project.
And from there, I think you started challenging yourself to do different things. How long? So let me ask you a couple of things first. I'm so distracted by everybody's on. There's so many people on. There's people watching from all over Japan. Hello on YouTube, and
goodness.
people from all over, and it's great to have everybody. So I'm going to try and keep an eye on those feeds as well. So you started challenging yourself with beadwork. So how long have you actually been doing beads?
Well, especially seed beads, I started in 2012. I did a quick jaunt with some beaded beads, and I kind of put it down and didn't work on beads. But about a year ago, January, I got back on
with this beading.
Yes, with this type of beading, and especially the wrap bracelets and the color study caught my eye.
Yeah, and color study is, if you go to beadshop.com and you go to our projects, that's kind of Janice's signature, what do I want to say, project, signature, you know, she's really kind of developed that over the years. And so you found that as a challenge to kind of work yourself
through it.
Yeah,
I love the color flow and trying to create unique pieces, one of a kind.
And I think you kind of got a lot of different techniques under your belt, right?
Learned them all
from that color study.
From the project and the project page.
Yeah,
going through a lot of the different projects.
And so Allie emailed me. When did you email me? I can't remember. It was a few months ago. Couple months ago.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of chatter in our Bead Table Facebook group. And if you're not part of the Bead Table Facebook group, after the broadcast, just search the Bead Table in your Facebook and answer just 3 little questions, and we'll be glad to welcome you over there. So I got this. You had been doing these wraps, is what you've been doing,
right?
And people on the Bead Table was like, "Wait, what? Whoa, what?" And you started working on this lookbook, and it was like nectar from the bead gods rained down on me. And you said, "Do you think this would be a good idea?" And I went, "Do I think it would be a good idea?"
It's a project.
It was a great. Poor Allie, I'm all, "Yes, Allie, and then we want this, and then we want," I'm not afraid to ask.
We kept adding.
We did. We kept asking. And so you can find Allie's, this is an Allie Maury product. We had no hands. Drea did some proofing, Karen did some proofing and posting it. But Allie taught yourself, you're working with InDesign.
I am teaching myself the whole Adobe Creative Suite.
And made this wonderful, so you can download it on the website. It's under projects, lookbooks, a year of wrap bracelets, and you can download your own. My mom, she posted in the group already. She was all, I printed it out, and she's there holding it. She's super stoked. But the cool thing, so Allie, you talk about, and here's one of the that first wrap bracelet.
That was the first one
that you did. And your color inspiration, I remember you used a photo that had a dragonfly in it.
A rainbow colored dragonfly and all the gradients.
Yeah, it was so cool. And so you just started with
I didn't start.
Yeah. So tell me how this project evolved a little bit.
So it all started with Kate's lovely mix.
My mix. It was Sea Treasures. Should we move this?
Yeah, we may want to move it around.
The camera. Let's move the camera around so we can look at what we've got here. So bear with us here, you guys. We're going to move the camera. Yeah, everyone's saying, Allie, how much they love the lookbook. Downloaded and printed.
Oh, good.
People are super stoked about it. So go ahead and take that off at the top there. Ivan's going to hand it over. Brandwin is off on some Brandwin adventures. So Ivan graciously stepped up to the plate. I've got it right here. I've got it there. Graciously stepped up to the plate and said, "I'll help you film." So nothing like doing the there. Looks great. Oh, and then so we go right here, and then we take that off, and we exit. We hit the check mark, and there we are. Perfect.
Back on.
And then how does this? Are we straight? I'm going to move this back just a hair, right here. There we go. I like the looks of that. What do you guys think? Thumbs up? Are we doing all right? So far, so good. Great. So let's take a look. I'm going to move the lookbook out for just a second. Which month is that?
This is May.
May. So I'm going to get the May page. So this was the first one. This was my mix.
This was your mix.
And let me stop just a second by saying, you guys, we have been doing look at how Karen automatically she does a project now. Automatically she does a project now. So funny. So the monthly mixes, we started doing monthly mixes in, I've got 2017 right here.
Right.
You want me to put that in, Ives?
Yeah.
Yeah, here, let me just put this. We started with the monthly mix back in, I think it was July of 2017. And I know that you guys are like, oh my God, we love these monthly mixes. Bring back the monthly mix, bring back the monthly mix. Well, if you go to our monthly mix pages on beadshop.com, each of the monthly mixes that's sold out still has a recipe, right? So even if this strawberry lemonade from July 2017 isn't available, which it isn't, you can buy all the components for it. And Allie, that's actually how you buy your monthly mix now.
Yeah, because I just started at the May, so I had to go back and buy.
And recreate your own mixes.
And then some of them I just bought full tubes anyway.
Full tubes, yeah.
Right.
So we have, this is the archive back, and you can look at all of the archives, all of the monthly mixes from 2017. But let's go back to this 2018. And we kind of do, at the office, we kind of share the monthly mix duties where we're like, okay, you know, Karen, it's your turn, it's your month, or, you know, Brandon, it's your month, or whoever, you know, so we've all done these, of course. And so we have, Allie is going to be doing the April mix, which is going to be gorgeous. So let's get in tight here, Ives, if we can. This was Sea Treasures, right?
Yes.
So this was the first one you did. So what was going on? What were you thinking, Allie?
Probably wasn't thinking.
Well, so here's that page.
And I know people think I'm a little silly, but I dump these out and I sort them out. I resort them.
I love that. So you do. So you dump out the whole tube and sort them into the sum of its parts.
Only to see if I'm going to just use the one single mix tube in order to know what I have and how to design it. Then you have to dump it out.
Right, to see what you've got working with.
You kind of have no choice. So you kind of dump it out and see what you've got, group it together, and I'm like you. I wing it.
Right.
Really do wing it. I start going
and so do you have any idea about like how long the piece is going to be, what it's going to be? Do you like with the leather, you can see what Allie used here in this June one. She used, and you can see here it's listed, the Indian leather in metallic cement. You use the 1.0, which I love. I don't often use a 1.0 in my wraps.
And I use both, or even 2.0, I'll even go up that high, but the 1.0 tends to drape better. You get better drape with that, although I'm a little worried on the wearability when it comes to a loop.
To the loop, right.
So now I've gone to, and some of them I'll macrame around the 1.0 just to keep it so that it lasts.
Yeah. And I don't know if you can get right in to see this, the way that this started. So for this one, for June, do you start with the button or do you start with the loop?
I start with the button on almost all of them, but you have to measure carefully. This doesn't work for everyone unless you know where you're going in length. I'll do the whole bracelet down to, this one is actually,
look at that detail in there,
spliced way back in here, and so I'll loop the leather around and I glue it with Zap
underneath there,
and then I macrame over it. Now I've started to actually put a large hole bead over it to even make it more secure, but this was my first experiment.
Oh, it's really great.
So actually the joint is always there under a macrame.
Right, so you start here. And so you can see how Allie did this with the button and it's macramed. And then you've just started to do your little patterning here.
And I ladder.
You laddered, and you do, you've used Ceylon with this one. And if you look at the Sea Treasures, the page for June, you can see what the monthly mix is comprised of, and then her additional ingredients, ones that we carry. The little octopus button I think is darling, and then using this Love Bravely charm also from Green Girl is really cute. And so then you just went on your merry way. You laddered, you tapered, and then you did the macrame. What I think is charming, and you've done this on several of your pieces, you use that 8/0 as kind of a little
embellishment,
you know, which is great. And then coming down, different. I also love how you use macrame as a focal. I guess is kind of what I want to say.
Right, I love macrame. So
yeah,
I do a lot of that.
And then it's almost like a little window that's peeking through with the beads here. And then I think what Allie was saying was when she splices, I want to talk that through just a little bit. So this comes, and what you do is you just have you have one giant loop, right? That comes around.
I'll just work to here, or you know, give myself a little room, and then I just take the leather down, and it's just one big loop, and you loop it back, and you cut it wherever you want to make your splice. You zap, glue it up really well, and I just pin it on my macrame board.
And then you just continue to fill in until you're done with your loop. I think that's amazing. Now, Aileen asks on this one, is one tube enough, or do you order two?
No, for most of these bracelets, one tube is enough. Now, on some of them, I don't really know because I went ahead and ordered full tubes. But usually you can get at least four wraps, sometimes 5 out of a tube.
Oh, right, okay. 4 wraps around your wrist.
Yes,
right.
This actually is one complete tube.
Yeah. It's really, I loved doing the Sea Treasures. It was a good one.
Yeah, the pearls got me.
Yeah, the pearls got me too. I was all, I'm going to throw pearls in that one. So that's June. All right, so where did you go to next?
Then I started.
Then you said I better do them in order, or you just kept working?
You know,
I'm going to move June over here.
I think I just kept on going. I'm pretty sure that's how I did. It's kind of hard to remember. So many bracelets, but
so here's August.
Yeah, we can just
let's look at August.
we want because
and this is the one I'm gonna grab. Yeah, that's Cara's. Although we skipped family reunion, but we'll go back to that.
Yeah,
we'll take them out of order. I don't know. I'm never one for the rules, right? And Ginger's asking again, Allie, do you separate the mix beforehand? And yes, you do.
Yes,
you
always.
Do. Yeah.
I've never done it without separating.
Them.
Yeah.
And what you did, so here's the list for the Summer Sunset wrap. And what you did was you added some other beads.
Yeah, this one I tend to embellish a lot. Whether it's cold or
it looks great though.
So I added some Tylus for structure and some fire polish, just some extra things, and then some roller beads down here.
Yeah, I love this patterning with the tiles, the Checkmates tiles. And you can see with the 8s, this is one, Cara's mix, she, with Summer Sunset, I love kind of this crazy pop of red that she put in there. And you can see how Allie offset the tiles with the 2 little 8-aughts here going back and forth, back and forth. So again, you started here
Same
and
thing.
You walked around, and what I love about this is you did just tiles and seed beads. And then Allie used a lot of, you like the transition beads.
I love transitions. I love those.
And this is a great place to
add thread.
Add your thread. So
always.
So what is your approach, if I may ask, to adding thread?
To adding thread. Yeah, I mean, like everyone, I don't like to add thread either, but I have really good thread management. So I can string off, like 4. Oh, that was great.
Well, but we've got it. It's a live show.
Yeah.
Allie just threw the orchid mix. No,
4 arm loads or arm widths of
the
Ceylon and not tangle, so I can do that. But I like to add the thread at a transition point, and so I'll just ladder it and then do the macrame over the top of the tails. Start a new one.
So here, if your laddering is going here and here, your tails would just run along the side.
Run underneath.
Do you glue it?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. And then macrame, and then push that transition up over.
And push right up over.
And then just cut away the tails later, continue, and then that macrame, those ends become your new
They keep
pieces
on
to
going,
ladder.
and they keep on going.
Yeah,
right.
no, it's great.
Right.
And this is also done with a two-sided ladder,
Yes.
right? Traditional ladder stitch,
Yes.
not the infinity stitch.
Right, and I don't try not to put on needles. I'll use the zap.
The zap at the ends, yeah. And this usually it looks like you're using micro sealing.
You know,
fine
It
sealing.
will depend. I try to use fine if I can throughout, and sometimes we'll have to use micro. Some of the melons, little tiny
get 'em
melons,
double.
to get them through, you have to go to micro. But I do try to do fine.
It looks great. Now, what is this little surprise?
Well,
what
this
is that all about?
This is where the splice is.
Oh my goodness!
So the actual splice is right
under that, and so that's just a round peyote bead, right?
That's all it is.
And it's similar to the one Emily and I did, a peyote bead, round bead, didn't we? Sometime
there was
back
some
there.
project.
Some project that we did this. I think it's there, but it's super easy. Yeah, super great. Yeah, it looks good. Looks great. Beautiful. I love it. Let's look at let's go back to July. Let's continue in summer.
Move on.
I don't know. I said I was going to do these in order,
I
but
know we got thrown.
you know, but I
because
never.
I didn't start
well,
there.
right? Because we didn't start. So let's put August over there with summer sunset. Fantastic. Looks great. So here's
This one's different.
this is Family Reunion, and Family Reunion was a great one. Janice did this mix, and I did a free tip Friday with this. Janice used this, I think maybe in her sea dive, or maybe it was similar to her sea dive. I think she was just on kind of this color kick that we did here. So yeah, this is a little different.
This one's different.
I love this. So what did you do here?
So this one I did not start at the button. I used a mini hoop, which I love.
Right,
mini hoops.
those mini hoops. Yeah, it's really good. And
Yeah.
you could use a chain link.
You could use any
anything
kind
there.
of finding that you
Yeah.
could. You know, you could even make this 3 strands if you wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted the double.
Mhm.
So just lark's head knot, start the leather, and then this is a simple ladder all
Yeah,
the way
simple
down.
laddering. And you added your kind of go-to shadow bead. I think you've used this a lot, I've noticed.
I love those.
And you have a strand. Is there a strand down there? I think we've grabbed one of those, if you can grab it. This is our 2mm hematite, hematite silver matte or whatever, but it's the hematite bead. It looks like the shadow,
They do.
sort of.
They act like shadows.
But it's a semi-fresh, which I love. And so it really looks nice in here. I want to show you guys that Allie did this walnut portion here. I also did that on a free tip Friday. And coincidentally, Allie, I have a wrap bracelet.
sorry.
Karen, it's funny. Karen's taking, but Ivan's all, Karen,
You're in the
get
shot.
out of the shot. So funny. I've used the walnut for an upcoming, I have a new wrap bracelet. It's called the Tracks Bracelet. So I think I got inspired from you with this. But look at how Allie did this. She just did the walnut on here, and then she just came through the button. This is the button, the Free Spirit button. Came up through and knotted it. I adore this. Adore. I think it's great. And this also gives you matched it on that end.
Down to the other end.
Yeah, look at that.
Right.
And so this is the closure. Can you guys even take it? I can't take it. Look at how good. Someone asked earlier about wrist size. Allie, what wrist size do you know?
I just make all of my sections 7 inches long.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna put this on.
yeah, I have a pretty narrow wrist,
Yeah.
so they always fit. And you have to remember you're having a lot of bulk when you do
Right.
many wraps.
Oh, look at how Allie Morey's bracelets just fit Kate Richburg just perfectly.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 inches will.
Yeah, and so you can see that, I won't close it up, but you can see also she used that little elephant charm. And what I love about these is instead of macrameing onto the mini hoop, you used our new,
Love those.
yeah, these oval jump rings and these rounded leather ends. And so did you just, it looks like to me, and this is where you would start, right? You started here and you macrameed around. And then to end it, it looks like you macrameed a little bit and
you
then
just
glued it.
macrame beyond, glue it real well, let it set up, and then cut
A
straight
blunt end.
across, blunt in, and then
Glue it in
yeah.
into the ends.
So it's nice and thick and tight.
Yeah, it's really, this one is, it's deceptively, well, not even deceptively simple. It's simple, but it packs a lot of impact.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't have
Especially
to.
because it's doubled.
It's not such long length, and you can get a lot of wraps out of it. So.
It's really nice. And I love the use of the yellow leather.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really great.
Try to match it.
I love it. Well, let's go back to January. I guess
we'll
let's
start-
all
we'll
right.
start with
Summer's over. Summer's done. And where was Janice's mix? Did we have her? Did I not have her mix? Is it sitting here somewhere? There it is. And the cool thing about Janice's mix, the family reunion, is it's all 6 and 8/0, and then she added those cubes, which is really cool as well. I love that one. So that's July. So let's go back to the beginning of the year.
Okay, we'll keep
Let's,
rolling
I
on that
suppose
one.
we should.
All right, there's
I guess.
there's our January.
So,
Okay.
the January, this mix was called Stargazing. And also on these pages, you guys, and they're hyperlinked, if you download this PDF, and you can download these PDFs and send them to your e-readers. There's a way for your Kindle, you can send a PDF right to your Kindle to read that way, or you can send it, into your iBooks and read it on your iPad. All of these links will be hyperlinked. So if you wanted to go to additional learning and you click on, how to ladder, it'll take you right to our how to ladder tutorial. So, so that's really great. And of course, all of the ingredients and everything are hyperlinked. So thank you, Allie, you did so much work on these. It's just incredible. I couldn't take it. So here we have Stargazing, and it looks like you added added some pieces into this guy as well.
Well, the same transitions I usually use. What else did I even? Because I did a goddess section.
Yes.
Then you have to add in the loop-end.
Right. And so can you guys see here, again, just kind of regular laddering, but what I love about your pieces, Allie, that you kind of jump in and do, you're like, you know what, I'm going to take this totally non-laddering ladder technique and just throw it in. So you can see you use the Jardin creme, and you closed it like you did this
Same
one,
way.
right? Same way. But then the goddess here, you used the sealant for that, right? And so it looks like that's like a lark's head that's just come around.
Yeah, simple.
And then the goddess bracelet we have on the bead table, on the Beadshop site, but you use the smaller,
The little tiny
oval jump rings.
Oval jump rings.
It looks so delicate this
Small
way.
ones. And it has such a great drape. It'd be really fun to do a whole bracelet.
It would be gorgeous.
Really drapes.
And then the end, you did that same thing.
The little,
Back through,
macrame.
and then it's glued underneath that transition.
Nice and tight.
Yeah, it's great. Really pretty. I love this
And the
one.
one key feature here is that I use graph paper before I do these types of designs, and I'll graph them out a little bit just to kind of come up with
your little kind of your little stars, right? Because it's stargazing.
Yeah, just sort of
It's gorgeous. I love it.
representative of it.
I really like that blue. And again, the
Yeah, the
moon
blue's
button
gorgeous.
was perfect for that.
That
It was
worked out.
really good. Yeah. So it looks really good. People are loving the goddess bracelet part of this. I am too. I'm gonna wrap it one more time. Look at that. Look at that carrot. Look at how this, and I love how
It's textural.
it really
too.
is textural. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Gorge. Really pretty. I can't remember whose mix this was.
It's a collab with
Was
Jen
it?
and me.
Oh, it was a really good one. Karen, she's stealthy. She'll just come in and she'll go, oh, let's do this one. You need another shot of that, KK. There we go. Gorge. So let's go to this February.
All
and
right,
this February one, this one was called New Love. And
New
Karen,
Love.
didn't you and Jen work on this one as well? Or was this a Jennifer one completely? Might have been. New Love.
New Love, that's Jen.
Jen, right? And this was kind of our first foray into maybe a more softer palette. Well, we've had some softer palettes, but I just loved this mix. This one got me. And Karen's nodding her head too. We really loved them. This one, and you spelled out love.
Yeah, this one I had a lot of fun with. This
right
one.
here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna actually turn it over so that the camera
it,
can.
right, it's in the right
Whoops,
direction.
it's in
Yeah,
the-
go the
there
other
we
way.
go. There we go. I know how to read. There we are. Look at how you spelled. So did you do the graph paper on this
I
one as
did,
well?
yeah. Again,
love it.
just to see how many,
Mhm.
you know, I could get the letters in.
Right. Isn't that great? Just so good. And look at here again. You used fine, I think. Let me
I
look.
believe this one is
Micro.
fine.
Oh
Micro.
no, it says fine.
No, it
Sorry.
should be fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
And then
because
micro great.
there were no beads that
Somewhere.
needed. Yeah.
It says maybe down
oh,
here.
with the
There
11s.
with the 11-aughts. Gotcha.
With the 11s, you definitely need to use micro.
And can you guys see? Look at how those are hearts.
These are the hearts that mimic this heart.
That
here,
heart.
right?
Look how clever. And so when do you choose the button? If I could ask.
Up
When
front.
do you- up front.
Up front.
And the leather too.
So button, leather, thread,
Okay.
Yeah.
Is your typical.
order of going.
This one.
And then this one does definitely, and it's hard to see because it's in silver.
Joy.
It says joy.
It
I think you can see it
does.
better on the.
On the you can probably on the
maybe
yeah.
on the printout.
on the printout you can too. Right. You can really see it well on the feed, the hearts
Oh, okay.
too. It's great. And that green girl heart I think is just darling. I love it. And again, more textural. Can you see what Allie did here around that transition? That's the pewter transition. And then essentially what you do, Allie, is you're just macrameing and you bring 2 beads up over
Okay.
to the top of the stitch, right?
Yep. That's how it is.
Right. And so where did you splice this one?
It's in there.
And there, so usually, so again, the splicing, and you know, you guys don't make it harder than it is. Essentially, you'd come here, you'd stop, loop around, you know how much you need. The leather's coming here, it's bare. Back in, the transition isn't on there yet,
No.
right? Glue it with the zap, let it sit, slide the transition up, finish the macrame, and then you have this open kind of loop that you just fill in with your
You
laddering.
just fill in, and then when you get to the end, you do the needle trick.
Right, that Allie Moore
And
needle
it
trick.
finishes it right
Yeah,
off. for
it's
you.
great. I love it. I love it. It's great. Great. And you can see again the lookbook also, especially on this one, you can really see Allie's really laid everything out really nicely. So great job. This one has a lot going on.
Yeah, this one's detailed.
It's really, well, they all have a lot going on. It's great. But you know what? I'll be honest. I don't know. I think I saw the words, but maybe I just didn't. They didn't register in my head. I don't know. I love it. Now I want to make a wrap bracelet
Yeah,
that
it's just kind of fun.
says, I don't know what I wanted to say, but I'm giving Karen the look. Karen's all, you do that one.
No, eat and hearty.
Right?
No.
Right? No, I know. So, let's see. Great. Okay. So,
Next.
March. What was this one called? This one was called Enchanted Meadow.
Enchanted Meadow.
Gosh, that was it feels like we just made this mix, Karen, doesn't it?
I remember.
Yeah, Ivan's like, we just had this. Oh my
I
gosh.
think this was actually the last one I completed, if I'm not
Oh, the
mistaken.
most recent one.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was behind.
Yeah. Well, the Enchanted Meadow, I love this. And the Enchanted Meadow, we did this one obviously for St. Patrick's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how you use the pearl leather. As you know,
Yeah.
and that's what's inspiring me a lot with these wraps, is that I am realizing, Kate, you don't have to use Distress Gray
I know.
for every
I'm the same way.
single
Branch out.
piece, right? Branch out a little bit, Richburg. but again, what you used here is the Argentium in fine and in micro. The Evolve sliders, you use sliders that were a little bit bigger because you used the 1.5 leather on this, right?
This one's a little bit thicker.
And sometimes I find the white, that white beads and stuff, they're hard for me to work with. I don't know.
They are.
This to me would not be an easier color palette, but I think what you've done by pulling these Picasso.
I added the tiles, or the checkmate tiles, and I think it gave it some structure.
Oh, I love it. And then again, you're sorting your beads so you can see that there's the little flower, kind of shamrock almost, kind of reminiscent. I love it. I love it. Sandra's asking me, are there colors other than distressed gray? No, Sandra, not in my book. There aren't, but there should be, definitely, I think. So the Evolve is like the Transition. I'm going to pull that Transition back here so you guys can see the difference. It's that same kind of slider bead, but it's a little bit bigger. So if you're using a larger leather, that Evolve works really nicely.
Yeah, you kind of need to use that.
Yeah, that looks great. And then, again, that repeating, the kind of bars of color, Janice likes to call that color blocking. I just think that's terrific.
And sometimes I know people, they don't like all their transitions to line up in one place. So you just go beyond your section. And here I just split it in the middle.
Oh, right. So the transition is here in the middle of that.
So it isn't really a transition, but
that makes a whole lot of sense.
Then they don't all bunch up in
right, when you're...
I don't really mind that, but
let me see.
Some people do.
Oh yeah, right. So that when we wrap it, this transition ends up there, that transition ends up there. Very clever. And what I also noticed about this little charmer, where is she? There we go. This, we did this beaded macrame. You've been using it a lot, but we did this in our prairie, I think, where Janice came in and we did kind of the macrame with the seed beads over the top. I really liked it. It was really good. I really love that. And then you use, we've got some roller beads, I think, over underneath there. Did you grab some rollers? I want to show you guys some roller beads. If you haven't, we've just added roller beads, you guys, to,
Can't get it out.
no, right? We just bring grab it there, or can you grab it behind
I'm
you?
afraid I'm going to knock the
Oh, well,
mannequin over.
let's just wreak havoc. Let's just do it.
Go for it.
Let's go for it. We've added some new colors of the roller beads, a beautiful purple that we were out of for a bit, and now we've gotten them, or they're coming back in. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Thanks, Sally. It wasn't, I guess it wasn't the best placement for that.
Yeah.
Note to self, I now know not to place that thing in the bottom shelf of that little guy.
Yeah.
But can you see that roller bead? You specifically used this because it was so big, because of the 1.5 millimeter leather again, right?
It will go over the two strands nicely. Fits over snugly.
And did you glue?
And I glued them together actually to create a larger bead.
Oh, and what glue did you use? Zap, always. And then, so it came together like this, right? To make that single slider. That was very clever.
So it covers over the splice.
Right, and they don't move when you're... We're all like looking at Allie Maury going, huh, all right, well, good one. And then my guess is that's where the splice is, right?
Absolutely.
I'm getting clever.
You're
I'm
figuring
getting clever.
it out, right? No secret anymore.
Right. Kim Crawford is asking about roller beads as strands. It's not a bad idea. Maybe we'll start adding them because we only sell them by the piece now. The purple ones that we have, I'm just in love with them. I love them so much. Well, cool. Well, this is so fun. I hope you guys are having fun. Are you guys having a good time? I'm having a good time. The purple ones, Ginger, are back on order and they should be in within just a few days. So put yourself on the notification list, and when that email comes to say that they're back in, jump on it because Those little beads go in and out so quickly. Now this was also a Jen product. Jen came when we were doing the monthly mix, and Jen said, I'm all about the packaging of this one. And this one's been kind of tossed around a little bit. But those of you who remember the Rainbow Sherbet, Jen packaged each of these by just like you would, I don't know, what's that, tequila sunrise, right?
Yeah.
You pour each little liqueur on the top, right?
Layer.
So this one here, and then she layered this one, and so on. So it was really, really, I think the presentation of this was just great. And so you sorted them out, right?
I sorted them out.
And I think the color blocking on this makes it.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do with
Yeah,
this
because
one.
these are difficult. No, I'm right there with you. I'm like, these
okay.
are, I don't know, it's difficult colors for me.
And I guess I'm not a real pastel person.
Right, as I
so
said, where's
I
the distress
needed
gray
to-
on this, right?
Yeah, I needed to do something with it, so that's when I picked the copper, leather, and sliders.
The sliders, the home run sliders,
and the button to,
ground it some for you.
Right.
Right.
take
Well, that
it
makes
on.
sense, because if you naturally gravitate towards kind of a metallic or something, this totally, and I guess maybe that also makes it really
It helps.
relatable to me.
Right,
Yeah, I'm like,
right.
oh, copper,
Because I would never wear something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not me.
right, it's not in
Some
my,
people love it.
right.
Not me.
But color, and I think breaking it down to the sum of its color parts,
So yeah, just kind of took it in order,
gorgeous.
and then when I ran out, then I would do like the rainbow spectrum right into here.
No, I love it.
Just
I love
and
it.
again the same type of
hidden
splice.
Right, and again, you did that little peyote stitch bead. Yeah, it's
So
really
real
great.
simple.
And you know what? I keep thinking that this is a bead at the ends. This isn't. At the ends, can you guys see at the end of these? Seriously, I'm thinking it's one of those like bally spacers that has the little nubs
It's
around
just
the end.
copper.
It's the last row of the peyote stitch here is the copper seed beads.
Yep.
Oh my
the
gosh.
metallic ones.
I love it. And yeah, can you see it goes kind of ombres a little bit? I think it's great. I really
That one's
dig
super
this.
simple.
Yeah. Right, no other beads other than
Not
just
too
the
much.
tube. It's really great. Lovely. And when this is wrapped, you
have
can see
lots of.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a lot.
get that color as well as kind of the copper coming through. It's really, it's so attractive. And you could use, if copper isn't your thing, you could change this to the silver leather.
Any metal.
We have the gold leather, and you could also do it monochromatic or pull up one of the colors out of here. We've got that green leather, we've got a beautiful purple, so just depends on how you want to do it.
It will change
I
the
love
look.
this. It'll change the look, definitely. And again, the beloved roller. I love it.
Right.
Looks
Lots
great.
of rollers.
And then what we'll ask, people are really asking to see the splice. So I bet we can show the splice at the end if we grab some leather and we'll grab, I think we can, especially because you angle cut that sucker, right? When you splice it?
No, I don't. I actually flush cut.
And bring it together. All right.
I
Well,
do.
we'll get some leather and
Or we
make
could
it
do
happen.
it on the other.
We
show.
could do it on our after party. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and get set up for it. That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, it takes a little.
Yeah, it takes a little. Yeah, that's the voice of reason is coming along. Now, Karen, this was yours, and Sweet Pea. So Karen does not come to play. What Karen does is she comes to make a mix, and Karen said that in this mix, your starting point for this mix, Karen. Wasn't it this striped bead? Wasn't it? I feel like it was. Or maybe it was close to the first one.
I think I did the purple, and I said I wanted there to be something that broke it up, and we hadn't used anything like that in a mix, so
Yeah.
And so Karen's all,
And
we're
that
going
is
to use
one
it.
of my favorite beads.
Yeah.
Loved
It really, this one again, it's called Sweet Pea, and the lavender, the metallic purple leather looks great. What I loved about this one, Allie Maury, is that you put that home run in the wrap
In the wrap.
this way, you know, as a bead, not as a slider.
Slider, transition type.
Yeah.
So it is a transition, but it's just acts
The
like
other
a
way,
bead,
yeah.
and that is a great place to add thread.
Mm-hmm. It's really, really good. And again, you used kind of this another little pattern, kind of a
Patterns.
chain link pattern.
Mhm.
And I think that's a good way to do it if you're not sure what you're gonna do, right? At least I do this.
Mhm.
If I'm not sure, I do a little pattern and see
Mhm.
how it works out.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, sometimes you have to rip it back out. It doesn't
Mhm.
come out the
Mhm.
way you thought.
Right, no, it's great. And I also love how you used this, I'm looking for the flower, the lotus button in bright
Is that the
lavender.
one? Okay.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
I
lotus.
love it. And someone asked on the YouTube feed, there's a couple of great questions. Judy asks, are these bought as kits? And Judy, they're not. They're actually our beadshop.com. We do our monthly mixes every month. And then once the monthly mix is sold out, we keep the recipe up on the website, so you then could make your own mix from this. And in the lookbook that Allie put together for us, you can see the additional ingredients that she used from beadshop.com. Also, there was a great question. Janina asked, can these be made on a loom? Now, Allie, we were playing around with the endless loom a little bit,
Yeah,
right?
I did quite a bit on the endless loom,
Mm-hmm.
and I just think it's easier to do the regular
To do it on a board.
on a
yeah,
board, and I
yeah.
use the macrame board.
Do you?
Yeah, because I use the slots and I also use T-pins.
Okay, gotcha.
When you do these things, you have to use the pins.
Right, the pins to kind of hold it together. That makes sense. And we carry the large macrame board and the mini macrame
And
board.
that's what I use.
Yeah, and I was actually using the one that I'm doing the walnut on.
Mhm.
I'm using the macrame
Mhm.
board. I think I go back and forth. I think if I have to travel a lot or move my piece a lot, that macrame board is a great one
Yeah.
to ladder with. And Janice and I did a whole broadcast on laddering on the macrame board versus laddering on the deep dish tray.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of information behind
And
it.
I did do it on the loom, on the endless loom. I did a wrap,
Mhm.
and it just was more work.
Yeah, it feels like it's small,
Mm-hmm.
right, or tight maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just didn't like
Yeah.
the tension.
Yeah,
It
but I
was-
know that some people, if they have like a Merrick's loom or larger looms, some people do their laddering on those. So I'm sure you could adapt it
Mhm.
if you
Absolutely.
are so inclined. I think the end, again, super charming. Again, where we're learning where the splicing is, right? So splicing's going under here. Did you glued these guys together
Mhm.
again? Come back through that nice little surprise at the end, and boom, underneath. I
Right.
really love it, and I'm telling you, this home run bead looks like $1 million going this way.
Yeah, it can be
Yeah,
used as
It's
a bead.
great. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
it's a
fun. And Alice, you're asking, are the cylinders heavy? So are you asking Alice the home run bead? I don't think
Or
they're,
maybe
or
this.
maybe the rollers.
Those are very
Either
light.
way, yeah, because those are glass. Not heavier than normal, I don't think, right? Yes, it was Battle of the Boards. That was that episode. You guys remember. How you doing, Karen? Holding up okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Karen. Karen and her, we'll have to take a photo of how Karen's
Oh, poor thing.
how's it going. Oh,
She needs to
that baby.
sit.
Sit down.
Okay, move that one.
So next, this one so we did summer. So let's move to September. Now this one was a special.
This is special.
Right, our baby. This was a Karen made one too. Karen, talk us through. What was this one?
Aw.
This was a Karen made.
Well,
Because there's our baby.
Yeah, we had recently gotten Alfie, and I love.
We got an Alfie.
Yeah, we
He
did.
was so little.
And he, just behind
So
the
little.
photo,
Yeah.
he was asleep, and I think we're like, oh, we need to like get some beads. So we woke him up, and he just sat there like the perfect
he
little model.
did.
Yeah.
He did such a good job posing
Yeah, it's
with
perfect.
that. But look at how whittle.
I
I look at
know.
him all the
So
time. I'm, oh,
tiny.
baby, you are so whittle.
Now he's so big.
Now he's so big. He's such a big boy. But Karen, you based this on our Alfred.
Yeah.
We did the first time for this. We added a little charm to. There it is. Karen tubed all of these. You tubed all these, didn't you?
She added the charms.
And Karen added every little
Wow.
charm right to that tube, to Alley Cat. And the cool thing about this one was we did a donation for every tube sold. We donated to our local Pets in Need shelter. And I think we donated $200, over $200 to Pets in Need through this. So it was cool. So Karen, I love. We added some new beads to this because again, Karen's all, and we're going to order new beads, and so we ordered that pearlized amethyst mint.
Oh,
Yeah, it's this, and you can see it in
It's
here,
just
and you can see it.
gorgeous.
You can probably see it better in the wrap when you lay it out. Yeah, it's right there. And you used the leather. The leather you used
I think I used
was the dark brown.
Dark brown.
In the
Uh-huh.
Greek,
yeah.
which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
I just think, and you added these checkmates
I
tiles.
did add
polychrome
some
copper
embellishments
rose.
to it. To,
Yeah.
you know,
Because Alfie's so regal.
extend it, and so then I did
Right.
get more wraps out of it as
Yeah.
well.
This was a good one.
There's another section with some
Yeah,
checkmates.
and whoops, I'm sorry. I
That's
hope I
okay.
didn't get
No,
you
no,
with
no.
the thing. This could be its own
It's a mix.
bracelet by
Right.
itself, right? Just that section.
Yeah, and
Just gorgeous.
this one was really pretty too.
Yeah.
I loved. I added
That
some
one
fire
is
polish.
that milky pink Celsian.
Right.
Fire polish, gorgeous. And what I loved, and you guys see what she did here, and it's super subtle. She ombre'd or gradiated the seed beads. The pink milky Celsian fire polish is the same, but the seed bead changes. Can you see that? It goes from the dark, dark raspberry, to the copper, to the crystal with the copper lined, and then to that blush lined crystal. I think this so speaks to me.
You could do a whole bracelet.
Yeah,
like
just
that.
like that.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
Do it that way.
Yeah, keeping that
Mm-hmm.
that bead the same and making the seed bead change. This, the in and out kind of design of
Just
this
a
one.
little, just trying to use up some of it, because you start getting to the end and you've
Right.
got, a few of this and a few
Mhm.
of that. So just to kind of add in the fire polish.
And you can see then with this 6/0 going to a 4/0, or going to a 4mm, then a 6mm, then back down to the 4.
Give it a wave.
Yeah, it gives it that undulating wave,
Mhm.
which is great.
So it adds a little texture too.
Yeah, it's great. Now, Ellen is asking, how long does it take for you to make a wrap?
Oh, something like this could take 5 hours.
Yeah.
It really can.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes the longest part is just getting everything set up, picked,
Mm-hmm.
selected,
Mm-hmm. Right, a lot of it is in the planning stages.
planning,
Right.
sorting,
Mm-hmm.
the actual doing.
Mm-hmm.
You can just kind of move right through.
Yeah, you're getting someone here on the YouTube feed going, you definitely crushed this mix. I agree. You crushed it. It's awesome.
Pressure.
The other question we had, do you prefer laddering or do you prefer infinity?
I do both, and
Mhm.
it depends on the situation. For these wraps, I do laddering. If I'm
Mhm.
doing more of a cup where they have the 2 or 3 rows,
Mhm.
I'll do infinity.
Infinity.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. It's great.
For this, I can go much faster
Mhm.
with the laddering.
With the laddering.
Mhm.
Yeah, Karen's a ladderer too.
Mhm.
No, well,
Infinity.
well, you were doing a lot of laddering, and then I hear Karen from her desk when we're making something. She yells out, that she is an infinity. She's an infinity convert. It's awesome.
That's cool.
But I also really like that with this traditional laddering technique, using the Ceylon. You use mostly the Ceylon.
I use exclusively
The Ceylon. And we have a couple of spools down there.
I don't know if I can even get them out.
Can you get them out?
Probably not.
Well, if you can't, it's okay.
I'm gonna just grab them.
Okay, perfect.
These are some
Favorite
favorite
colors.
colors that I use.
That polychrome, the copper rose right here, argentum, and I should have written down what this one is.
Oh, I probably can tell you. Oh, that's gold.
Oh, gold. Just gold.
Gold is, I use a lot of
A
gold.
lot of gold.
A lot of gold.
Awesome.
Gunmetal.
Gunmetal.
Is real popular. Light copper.
Light copper.
I think this is sienna.
Yeah, sienna. Look at how Allie knows all these. Look at, thank goodness. I love it.
Celadon?
Yeah, celadon.
Celadon.
Gorge.
Oh, Venetian red.
Yeah, Venetian red. Yum.
And the French lilac.
French lilac.
So those are, I really
Your
like
color
those.
palette. Yeah.
I mean, I use others.
Right. Those are gorge.
But those really work for the kinds of things that I do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm a Ceylon addict. Totally.
Yeah, they're really, and they're so nice to have in the, and you have a little trick. Well, we're going to show it on the after party.
Yeah.
How you corral your Ceylon.
Oh yeah.
We'll share that.
Yeah, that's
We'll share that.
Cool.
Okay. Let's go. So, the alpha. And there's a little. So, did you make this? You
So,
made this one, right? Or what?
Because
What did you?
because I grew up, my nickname was Alley Cat growing up. Yeah,
It was the Alley
It was
mix.
Alley.
Yes,
So
I love it.
couldn't resist. So I just made my logo, my avatar logo for the Facebook, into a charm.
Yeah, a little charm.
A little charm. So
It's really darling.
that's kind of
I love it. And there's our baby. I should have brought Alfie in today, but we've got we need to bring him in. But there he is. You guys can look at the little photo. There he is. He misses everybody, and he is giant. He is asking about how much would you charge for a wrap bracelet like this? You don't
know
because you don't really sell your work that much, do you?
I've not sold the
Yeah,
piece.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's very funny, on social media right now, there's this interesting, and some of you guys may have seen it, there's an article, and I'll try and link it in the group. There's an article going around about people just taking joy in their hobbies without moving forward to have the pressure of selling.
Yeah.
And it was very profound, very interesting, because I like to say that I am an omnicrafter, right? I like to dabble in so many crafts, including, knitting or, I don't know, felting, whatever.
Weaving.
Yeah, weaving. And just kind of removing the pressure of having to sell because you have so many of these things. I think that it would, however, though, be a great Facebook Live or Beadshop Live that we do when we talk, because I know that so many of our members sell, whether kind of as a hobby or, as you get more and more professional. So I think that would be a fun topic to go through. And then Mary Ellen says, and Mary Ellen, I know you sell some of your work, it's very gorgeous. It does change everything sometimes. It's true. You start to look at, well, what can I sell this for? What's the bottom line of this? And so sometimes I feel it takes the creative joy away, for me. So,
at this point,
so
I don't want to think about it.
I feel that. So, anyway, so yes, fantastic. This is great. So then we went to October. This was Baranduin's mix called the Twilight Hour. We had everything just laid out so nicely, and now it's a mess. Thank goodness.
Always a disaster table.
Yes. So here is the Twilight Hour. And Baranduin does a lot of walking. And a lot of walking in the morning and a lot of walking in the evening. And she's also a very prolific photographer. So when she came up with Twilight Hour, this really, I think, is almost through the lens of her camera almost. And you used my beloved shadow bead for this one.
Yeah, a whole section
Mhm.
of it.
That looks great.
Mm-hmm.
And again, a really great way to connect the button. This is a 1mm leather.
Mm-hmm, this is.
And see how it comes through, and Allie just used the little 6/0 there to kind of
You just
make a little,
glue and knot.
yeah,
maybe.
and then pass them through.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started, you started macrame,
Mm-hmm.
then ladder. Now what is this bead right here,
These are
Allie Mori?
matubos.
Yes!
I love
The
matubos.
2/0 matubos.
Right.
Also a great bead for using in your transitions.
Great hole size
Mhm.
for 1mm.
For 1mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then really it shows how different you can go from here's that shadow bead to the mix of the 8s and the 6s, which I love the play on light and dark. And then look at this kind of, did you graph this out or did you just go for it?
This one was 3/4.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. All of those 11/0. Brandon went 11/0 heavy
She had a lot of
in
leather.
this, and I know sometimes not your favorite to ladder with.
Not my favorite. I mean, it has great drape,
Yeah,
but that does take a long time.
it does take some time. I know. I'm the same way. I'm like, all right.
You can't just go whipping through
Yeah,
it.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Right. And you also. So let me ask you this question: for this section of the laddering, you use the 2-sided laddering, and you use the zap glue to make your needles
Yes.
on this, right?
Yes.
On the 11s,
I
did you use
used
needles?
One needle. So I'll zap glue one thread and then use the
Oh.
needle. So I'll take the one thread through first, and then the needle goes.
The needle, right? Because the thread is easier to go through with
Yes,
nothing
you
in
can
the
get the
thing.
thread right through.
But the second pass
is with a needle.
is with a needle.
Yeah, and
Look
so you're
at
not
that.
struggling with 2 needles.
Yes, yes. Terribly clever. Terrible. I knew there had to be a secret
There's
coming
a
out
trick.
here. There is. Again, your 6s and 8s, and then ending. I love this section. Look at how just this to me captures the Twilight Hour.
Mm-hmm,
There's sunshine, there's shadow, I love it.
Yeah, and this is with just one full tube.
One full tube.
Makes
Yeah.
the whole thing.
It's great. I love it.
Yep.
I
And
love
then
it.
This one is a little different. I think I macrameed
Yeah,
over the
you
leather
macrameed
on
it
that
over
one.
the, and that actually, very smart, macrame, and come around. Because sometimes, as you said earlier, that 1mm leather, I'm
Wonderful.
afraid.
Me too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but the extra macrame
Mhm.
gives it a lot of bulk. Gorgeous.
Another layer.
Another layer. Great. Oh, so delightful. October, all right, we're coming into
Alright.
more of winter
You know
here.
this one.
This is cornucopia. That is Cara's. It's Cara's, right? Cara did.
No.
Was
You
that me?
all did it.
Oh, we all did.
Well, no, that was mostly you.
It was.
You.
Okay.
Yeah, that was yours.
Who are all you people? What am I doing here? What is this? I guess it's true. I guess I did do some of cornucopia. I guess so. All right, you guys. That's hilarious.
This
I
one.
can't remember.
I know we're just
The,
we're
so
making
funny.
a mess.
So the cornucopia, this was another one where we did a donation with the cornucopia. We actually donated for this one. I think it was $500 to the Bay Area Food Bank, and we donated a portion of the proceeds from this. So you guys helped with your $500 donation feed some of the hungry and homeless here in the Bay Area. So that was great, all from this cornucopia mix. And that's right, I did do, I'm like, this is coming back to me. Where am I? What? I don't know. I used a cube because I thought, well, if everybody else can use a cube, Karen's nodding her head. She goes, yeah, I remember that. Stick a cube in it. But I love how, again, you use that same pattern that you used back in the Enchanted Meadow mix. This is really a darling pattern to just ladder.
Yeah,
it's great.
and I mean it's easy to keep track of, easy to do.
Easy to do, and there's actually 1, 2. This is more of an transparent than an opaque, and then that
Yeah, mix
silver,
of the-
that little mix. So it gives it a subtle color change in there that I really love. And then here, I'm wild about this section.
And I love the green pop in this mix.
It looks really good, and I love the in and out.
Yeah.
I need to remember that I can actually do this, the in and out. It's good, I think. But I love, again, how you reversed out the color. So here's this one. Sometimes if you're stuck, you don't know what to do, reverse out the color.
Just
do a color
reverse it
change.
out. You can see they're opposite. You know,
Yeah.
you go through.
It's really good. And it really looks nice in the 11s. And then that little window, I like to call those
and
your
it's
little
just
windows.
a way to use up. You know, you're going to have a few left over.
Mhm.
You know, so you can use it
It's
up
great.
there.
I love this.
And
And then again, instead of did you just wrap? Is this wrapped? No, it's macrame
it's
here.
just macrame.
Macrame there.
Mhm.
And then we've got our transition,
Mhm.
and then the
Little
squares.
pattern, little
I
square.
love the squares. Love it. And it looks like the squares are done in sequence. So there's the
Pretty
color
much.
sequence, right?
Mhm.
Of that. There's
Mhm.
4, and then you repeat the
Repeat.
4. Repeat.
As long as you need it.
Yeah,
You know, you can
fantastic.
make it longer.
And then here's the in and out. Again, that going from the small bead to the larger beads, adding that 6/0 in the middle kind of gives you that natural undulation
And texture.
and texture. Gorge. And there's
There it
the
is,
cubes.
The cube.
Those look pretty nice
Right there.
if I do say so myself.
The cubes work.
Yeah, the cubes work. And again, you had the cubes be the unifying factor,
Mhm.
and it's the seed beads that switch around.
Mhm.
Yeah, great.
Just use them
I
all
love
up.
This is a really, she says it looks like an arm quilt. I love,
That's a great, I like
love that analogy because yes, I'm a quilter. I agree. It's really kind of like a textile for your
Mhm.
arm. I love it. And then so again, this is where the
Yeah,
splice
and
is.
sometimes I get quirky and I like to just throw something in there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
I love it. That
it
red,
doesn't go.
Papa
but,
red. And look at what Allie did here. I'm going to put it on the white so you guys can see. Just that little raised macrame with the with these beads. It's just, and it ties in. You had this little
Oh, I have
cute little
that.
cornucopia
Yeah, just
charm. I
threw
love
that on
it.
there because it
Yeah.
went with.
I love
everything.
it. It looks great. I really am, though. I'm loving this, and I think it's because this section here, the Tracks Bracelet that I'm doing that's coming up, kind of has this feel to it. So I'm kind of into having this very linear bead juxtaposed by a more rounder bead. I think it's pretty cool. So, but it's great. I love this one. You did a great job. I'm thinking this is Cara's mix. I'm just going to call it Cara's. It's great. I love it. But look at how, again, I guess it was when Sheesh was saying it looks like an arm quilt. It really, when this one's wrapped all together, it gives such a variation in size, shape, texture, and weight. Yeah, it says a lot. I really like this a lot. I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Can you go back there?
Oh, Karen wants my hands to pose for just a second. So then let's end with December and Jack Frost.
Yeah,
This was kind of a group, wasn't it? This one, Karen, or was this yours? Or I can't remember.
It was a group.
We did a group selection with Jack Frost. You know, when we make mixes, I'm gonna say Karen and Cara. I make them into
mix
one
them
person called Kara. When we make the mix, Cara will just sometimes sail by and she'll go, "How about this?" And then she'll just toss something right in there. And I think Cara did that with the gold in here
I drew
because
it in.
we were all looking at silver for this. And we're like, let's do silver. And then we just kind of toss that out and use the gold. And I think it's you use the home run in the gold. And then
gold.
that,
With the button.
the daisy button, the sapphire, which has the gold on it, which I love. It's really, really good.
The charm fell off.
Oh, the charm. Well, the charm looked like looked like that. It was here. I think we changed it out, or that guy.
That's
So
okay.
we'll get it. We'll get you a fresh charm
no-
somewhere. But look at how cool you did. Look at that little ladder section with just the 11-aught seed beads. So good.
Just running down.
Running down.
Just try to use up what's in the tube.
What you're using, and then you put the odd home run or ruffles. I think
silver.
this is.
I was trying to do the silver and gold, and the charm was silver too. So
it looks really great. And this is also a way. This little section at the end is also a way to size your piece, right? So if you needed to make it a little longer, this section would be longer.
Absolutely.
If it's a little shorter, that section can be shorter. I love it. And then, did you guys spy this? How, I'm going to turn it over because that's the rounded side, comes through macrames, and then the little, I'll call them little four corners right there of the bead, then coming through, then the other corners there. So it really kind of makes this whole thing look like a unit. I really love it.
A little bit different, you know, just different applications.
Yeah. And this one is all blue.
Really simple because I wanted the blue to show up, and if you don't use the whole solid blue, it really loses its
tint.
So that's why.
Right, that little strip of color, and it does look like ice, you know, when you're looking at. I love it. And again, more patterning.
Using the gold.
Yep, using the gold, and then more of, and again, that pattern is subtle because we've got two shiny, but that little kind of almost little snowflake frosty thing.
Yeah.
That heavy high you've heard was Karen. Karen taking a turn. Whoops. Are you out of camera? Oh well, that was a good one. Good job. Yeah, it looks great.
Just very simple. This one was really simple.
Yeah, it's really lovely, I think. So awesome. Well, I think
we got them.
We've made our way through all of these guys. There was a couple of other questions that I kind of saw out of the couple, the corner of my eye here that I wanted to share. What other, so let me ask you, Allie, what other, and Ivan, maybe we can, before we do that, I want to pull a couple of other things to the center. Before we even do any of those other things, this is what I was thinking. I wanted to show you guys, because this is kind of jumping ahead a little bit, because this is a mix from 2019. This is Karen's latest mix that she did. This is called Maya, and Maya was in honor of Black History Month. And if you go to the project page, you'll see the quote from Maya Angelou and everything that's on here for this. But this is Karen's, and she did this with, she added the Padres here. And you, Allie, knocked it out of the park with this mix.
This mix.
Yeah, this really, I think, and you're also wearing the earring. Yeah, it's really cool. So this mix, I was especially drawn to this good old guy here with the hibiscus flower. I'm going to undo that so you can see the back. I think this will be fun. I think we should do this on a Free Tip Friday to do this. But essentially, you got the hibiscus flower. You used 1, 2, 3, 4 strands, right? 2, 4, 6. 6 strands.
Well, I think I only put 4 through the button.
And then you added, gotcha. So there was 2 and 2 on the, or the 4 through.
4 through.
And then you added that extra for the 6. Yep. And then you brought it through, and then you macrameed it here, and then you just strung it.
It's easy.
Right?
Yeah, real simple.
Super easy. And then you did that same technique that you do with the 2 rollers, but you use that pony bead. Yeah,
it has a larger hole, so these will snug up.
It's really good. And then you kind of repeated that technique over here with the necklace.
Right, it is the kind of the same where you take the vintage find and I can't even get this undone.
There we go. So it comes through there, right? Look at that. Look at how neatly that's done.
So you can turn it into a button.
Mm-hmm.
Just embellish the front of it a little bit.
Use that shadow bead.
It just kind of sits right in
that center.
hole.
And then you just strung. So it's the same
Mhm.
technique as this bracelet. But then what Allie did was she came through and she just finished it off with the loop, and then she used that loop as her connector for the remainder of this.
Yeah, you just start here.
Yeah, and connected it down there.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. I love it. It's really good. Yeah, you're everybody's new hero. Everybody is just
A hero.
so.
I don't know. I don't
so,
think I've ever been a
so
hero.
well. These monthly mixes, I think they're incredible. These are gorgeous. So I did want to share this one because it was so
It's
great.
current, right?
It's so au courant. Well, we're going to be doing the after party. So Ivan, let's move this around and we'll chat a little bit, and then we'll take a break, and we'll let me hand you the camera. Hasn't Ivan been doing a great job filming? You guys, you've been amazing. Ivan, I'm going to pass that around to you. There you go. Wonderful. Here we are. I'm going to push that to the side there. Alrighty. Okay. So people, what people are saying, Allie, that you're a bead engineer. You really are, I think.
That's a good word.
A good way to put it.
Engineer?
Yeah. So let me ask you, there'll be some other questions that we'll do at the after party. So we're going to, after we end this broadcast, we're going to come back at 1:30 Pacific time for a very informal, kind of fun. We're going to go through, we'll do a few demos. I know that we've had a few questions from the group and stuff that we're going to address and stuff there as well. But one other, I wanted to ask, do you do any other crafts? I don't know if crafts is the right word.
I have.
Or art or...
Lots of different things. Knitting, crocheting, weaving, spinning. It goes on and on.
Right.
I love mosaic tiles.
Right.
But I like to do them until I master them,
and then you kind of find
else.
something else that
Yeah.
you love. Well, I'm so glad that you found the beads that
me
you
too.
love. And I think, doing, when I say doing like the being an omnicrafter, I feel like when you start at whatever craft you're doing, whether you're painting or you're knitting or whatever it is, you start to build, I don't know, color sense, design sense, I don't know, an ease maybe.
You do. And I mean, there are a lot of flops.
Right.
This is not, these might look great, but in between, there are a lot of flops and misses.
Right, and missteps. Well, one of the things that I've asked Allie, because we had this conversation actually yesterday about, a lot of things that we do on camera, and when we make these things, we make it look super effortless, like, oh, look at how easy this was. So easy. But we were talking about, like the drawer of, like the mistakes over here that we never see, right? So you have missteps.
I do. In fact, a couple of weeks ago I did one, and I hated it after I finished it, and so I did photograph it before I took it apart. And so I want to be able to post that too, along with what happened.
What happened, yeah.
And how I could, be better with it.
Yeah. And I think that, like when I do my metalsmithing work and stuff as well, you have to build on, I make a lot of mistakes in the studio, or a lot of mistakes on the beadboard and stuff. Yeah. So look for that on our blog. It's going to be great. Well, you are getting so much love, and so much. People were asking. They're really excited about the after party as well. So you can decide. You can go on to the bead table, or if you have some other questions that you'd like to ask Allie, you can drop them in this feed, or come onto the feed later and drop them on there. and we'll have them. We're going to show we've got a couple of wraps there. We've got the farmer's market wrap that I know you guys love, that Kate's favorite on steroids, whatever. We're going to talk about that one a little bit. So we're going to talk about some of her other designs. We'll set up a splicing demo.
Okay.
So you guys can see that, how we might splice those together. And we've got some other things we'll share with you there as well. I did want to give a big thank you and a big shout out to Ivan for working that camera. Thank you, Ives. And you know, you guys know that Ivan has been our shipping lead, our shipping guru for I don't know, 3 years, long time, Ives, almost 3 years. And so Ivan, this Friday is going to be Ivan's very last day. I hope I'm going to start to cry right now, right on camera. We're going to miss him so much. Ivan is moving on to the next stage, going back to school, doing some great things on his life journey. So we are so grateful that he had his time with us here at Beadshop.com. But Ivan's going to be Ivan's behind the camera there a little bit. So we really are very grateful, Ives, for and everybody's giving you all kinds of love here. But on that note, we have a new shipper, and some of you know our Chris, my dear husband, has come back to the team, joined the team, so it's truly a family business for sure. So our Chris will be sending you out the packages and signing your things and doing your refunds, so he's going to work real hard for you. But he has some big Adidas to fill, I'll tell you. Big Adidas and hoodies to fill. So we are going to super miss you, Ives. And maybe Ivan will pop in at the after party and say hi. Yeah, you're getting, no, Ivan, they're not going to let you, they're not letting you go. They're not letting you go. But Faye is super excited. Everybody's doing big congratulations.
Thank you guys.
So yes,
congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're going to have a little party on Friday and lock Ivan in the back room, so he can't leave. He doesn't know that yet, but he won't. He won't know. Yes, he does. He has the key. It's great. So, but thank you, Allie Maury. This was incredible. I hope you had fun.
Yes.
I hope you guys had fun. Wasn't that fun to take a walk a year through the wraps? Your book is incredible. You guys can go and download the book, and hopefully it's not going to be the last lookbook that comes from Allie. We've got some other things coming down the pike with her, so we are so grateful to you that you have enriched us all with these amazing and incredible designs.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I'm so inspired by this. As you know, if you guys have just started watching us, really make sure that you go to beadshop.com and sign up for our newsletter. Drea writes the newsletters, and all the time, they're quite amusing.
They're funny.
Many times. She's a fantastic writer. And so, as I say, go to beadshop.com, sign up for our newsletter. In our newsletter today, we had a couple of offers. And so if you're watching this live, it is the February 20th, Wednesday, February 20th of 2019. And today we have a couple of specials going on. We're doing an Allie Mix giveaway, and we actually are doing that all day. We have a limited amount. We still have some left, but when you place your order today and you write Allie's Mix in the notes, we didn't even show it. I had it here. I have it actually. It's kind of hard to see here, but I don't know, Ives, if you can zoom it in. But what Allie did yesterday is I said, hey, Allie, let's make a mix. And I tossed her this really cool, this piece that I got in Tucson, some of my Tucson finds. And then Allie said, I'll take that challenge, and added kind of some other things that were kind of a cool inspiration. Maybe a little reminiscent of Maya, maybe, I don't know. But it's a great place to kind of start. So the Allie Mix is today's giveaway. When you spend $35 or more, it's a gift with purchase, and you just, when you spend that $35 after discounts and before shipping, we'll throw in an Allie's Mix until we don't have any left. And then, of course, today we're celebrating seed beads, and it's seed bead 20. The coupon code is good until midnight tonight. Use coupon code SEEDBEAD20 and you save 20% on all seed beads. Okay. I didn't note the seed beads here, but it's all seed beads in stock are 20% off. So that's our story. We're sticking to it. Our after party, you guys, that we're going to do is it's going to be a little more of a casual chitty chat. We're going to look at some of the other things you brought. We're going to learn a little bit more about your journey, your design journey, your beading journey. I'm going to try not to break out the bottle of wine that's in the fridge.
Sounds good.
You never know what'll happen.
Sounds good to me.
Right? And so thank you so very much. Again, Ms. Maury, an inspiration to us all.
Thank you. It's
Thank
been
you.
wonderful.
Wow.
I had a great time
It's been
here.
incredible.
This place is incredible.
Well, we do our
It
best.
really is.
It's getting better every day.
It
We
really
work on
is.
it. Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys at the after party.
See you later.
Thanks.